Let me ask you something that most doctors rarely talk about. How often do you actually think about your muscles? Not your weight, not your blood pressure, not your cholesterol, your muscles. If you're over 60, your muscles are the difference between living independently or relying on others. They determine whether you can get up from a chair on your own, whether you can climb a flight of stairs, whether you can carry your groceries without struggling. Muscles are not just about strength, they are about freedom. They're about dignity, they're about life itself. But here's the problem. After the age of 30, we start losing muscle. Slowly at first, but then faster and faster. By the time you're 60, you may have lost up to a third of your lean muscle mass. This condition has a name, sarcopenia. And it's more dangerous than most people realize. Sarcopenia doesn't just make you weak, it increases your risk of falls, fractures, diabetes, heart disease, and even dementia. That's because muscle isn't just tissue, it's your body's biggest metabolic organ. Most people think the answer is simple: eat more protein. And for decades, chicken has been held up as the king of protein. Doctors recommend it. Trainers swear by it. Supermarkets sell giant family packs because we've been taught that if you want to stay strong, you eat chicken. But here's the truth that almost no one tells seniors. After 60, chicken is not enough. Yes, it has protein. But your aging body doesn't absorb protein the same way it did when you were 20 or 30. You need not just protein. You need the right kind of protein, combined with nutrients that actually activate your body's repair systems. Chicken is like giving your body bricks without any builders. You've got the raw material, but no one to assemble it into strong walls. That's why so many older adults eat plenty of chicken, but still feel weaker every year. Now here's where it gets exciting. Scientists have discovered a humble, overlooked food that beats chicken at its own game. A food that not only delivers protein, but also switches on the very signals in your body that tell your muscles, repair, rebuild, grow. This food is not expensive. It's not exotic. You don't need a prescription to get it. In fact, you've probably walked past it in the grocery store hundreds of times without realizing the treasure sitting there. This food is lentils. Yes, lentils. Those tiny legumes that have been part of traditional diets for thousands of years. In countries where people live the longest and healthiest lives, lentils are eaten almost daily. And now modern science is proving that these little seeds are muscle-preserving powerhouses. Here's why lentils are different. First, they are rich in leucine, an amino acid that acts like the ignition key for muscle growth. Without leucine, your muscles can't turn on the repair process. Chicken contains leucine, but lentils deliver it along with fiber and slow-digesting carbohydrates, which make your muscles actually use it more efficiently. That's critical for seniors because the older you get, the harder it is for your body to hear the muscle-building signal. Lentils make the signal louder. Second, lentils are packed with iron, magnesium, and potassium, which help your blood carry oxygen and nutrients directly to your muscles. Think of this like fuel delivery. Without good circulation, your muscles starve. But with lentils, your blood vessels open, your tissues get oxygen, and your body actually has the energy to repair and rebuild. Third, lentils contain powerful polyphenols, natural plant compounds that lower inflammation. Why does this matter? Because inflammation is like rust inside your muscles. It slows healing, causes stiffness, and makes recovery harder. Lentils scrub away that rust so your muscles can actually focus on getting stronger. And here is where lentils beat chicken completely. They don't just give you protein. They give you a package deal of protein, circulation-boosting minerals, and anti-inflammatory compounds all in one. Chicken is just protein. Lentils are protein plus repair instructions, plus fuel, plus protection. Now let me tell you a story. A woman named Maria, 68 years old, came to one of my talks a few years ago. She had always eaten chicken and fish for her protein, but she noticed her legs were getting weaker. Walking even a few blocks left her tired. She thought maybe it was just aging, something she had to accept. But when Maria started adding lentils to her diet, just a simple lentil soup 3 times a week, everything changed. Within 2 months, she noticed she could climb stairs more easily. Her balance improved. She felt stronger, steadier, more capable. And when she went back to her doctor, Her blood sugar had dropped into the normal range for the first time in years. What Maria experienced wasn't magic, it was biology. Her muscles had been waiting for the right fuel, and lentils gave it to them. Now let's pause and think about this. If a simple food, something so cheap, so humble, can help restore muscle strength, lower blood sugar, and improve balance, what would happen if every senior over 60 started eating it regularly? We could prevent falls, lower healthcare costs, extend independence, and give people back the strength they thought was lost forever. That's the promise of lentils. And this is why I say, forget chicken. Lentils build muscle faster after 60. Chapter 1. The Silent Thief. Understanding Sarcopenia. Let's shine a light on something that affects almost everyone over 60, but hardly anyone talks about. It's called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle as we age. Doctors call it the silent thief, because it sneaks up slowly year by year, until suddenly you notice things that used to be easy now feel difficult. Maybe it starts with something small. You notice you get out of a chair more slowly. You have to hold the railing when climbing stairs. You walk shorter distances because your legs tire out quickly. And then one day you realize you can't lift your grandchild, or you need help carrying groceries into the house. This is not just about weakness, it's about independence. Sarcopenia takes away more than muscle. It steals your confidence. It makes people feel fragile. And once you feel fragile, you start avoiding activity, which only makes the muscle loss worse. It's a downward spiral. Now let's talk science, but in simple terms, your muscles are made of fibers, like threads in a rope. When you use your muscles, walking, standing, lifting, you create tiny tears in those fibers. That's normal. Your body repairs those tears using protein, and that repair process is what makes muscles stronger. But as we age, two things happen. First, our bodies become less efficient at repairing muscle. It's like the repair crew shows up late and leaves early. Second, inflammation increases. It's as if someone is spraying acid on the muscle fibers, making them harder to fix. Combine those two problems, and you start losing muscle faster than you can build it. And here's where the misunderstanding comes in. Most people think, I'll just eat more chicken, more fish, more meat. But protein is only half the story. Think of protein as the bricks for building a house. If you don't have workers to lay the bricks, if you don't have mortar to hold them together, if you don't have a delivery truck to bring them to the site, the house never gets built. Chicken gives you bricks, but no workers, no mortar, no delivery system. That's why so many seniors eat high-protein diets and still feel weaker. Their bodies can't use the protein effectively. This is where lentils shine. Lentils don't just give you protein, they give you the entire construction crew. They supply leucine, which is like the foreman saying, all right, let's get to work, repair these fibers. They supply minerals like iron and magnesium, which act as the delivery trucks bringing oxygen and energy to the site. They supply polyphenols, which are like rust removers, clearing away inflammation so the builders can do their job. And they supply fiber, which keeps your blood sugar steady, so your muscles always have a steady supply of fuel. This is why, study after study, seniors who eat more legumes, especially lentils, maintain stronger muscles, better balance, and lower risks of falls compared to those who rely only on animal protein. Think of sarcopenia as a slow leak in your energy tank. If you keep pouring in the wrong kind of fuel, you'll still run out. But if you give your body the right fuel, lentils, it doesn't just refill the tank, it repairs the leak. And here's something remarkable. Muscle is always willing to grow back. Even in your 70s, 80s, or 90s, your body still has the machinery to repair muscle. It just needs the right signal and the right building blocks. Lentils give both. Let me tell you another story. There's a man named Robert, 74 years old, who thought his best years were behind him. He was slowing down, using a cane for balance, and he had resigned himself to old age. But Robert's daughter, a nutritionist, encouraged him to start eating lentils twice a week, not as a replacement for everything, but as an addition. Lentil stew on Mondays, lentil salad on Thursdays. Within 6 weeks, Robert noticed he was standing up more easily. He walked without his cane in the mornings. His energy returned, and when he went for his yearly checkup, his doctor was stunned. Robert's blood pressure had dropped, his blood sugar was steadier, and his muscle strength had improved. That's the miracle of fighting sarcopenia the right way. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. So here's the truth. After 60, your body needs foods that work with you, not against you. Chicken is fine, but it's incomplete. Lentils are complete. They are the muscle food nature designed for aging bodies. Chapter 2. Beyond muscle. How the right foods protect your whole body. When most people think about muscle, they think about strength. But what many don't realize is that muscle is connected to every single part of your health. When you protect your muscle, you also protect your heart, your blood vessels, your joints, even your brain. Let's start with circulation. Your muscles are like giant sponges that soak up blood sugar after every meal. When your muscles are strong, they pull sugar out of your blood and store it as energy. That means your blood sugar stays steady, your pancreas works less hard, and your risk of diabetes drops. But when your muscles are weak, that sugar stays in your bloodstream. Your insulin has to work harder, and over time, you develop insulin resistance. That's why sarcopenia and diabetes often go hand in hand. Now here's where lentils are remarkable. Lentils don't just build muscle, they also slow down how sugar enters your blood in the first place. Their fiber forms a gentle net in your gut, releasing sugar gradually. That means your blood sugar never spikes, and your muscles have plenty of time to soak it up. Think of it like a slow drip instead of a flood. Your body handles it with ease. This is a big reason why in parts of the world where lentils are a staple food, rates of diabetes are much lower. In India, for example, where lentils are eaten almost daily, people have traditionally had better blood sugar control compared to Western countries, at least until processed foods became more common. But circulation is more than blood sugar. It's also about blood flow. Your muscles need oxygen, your heart needs open, flexible blood vessels. Lentils, rich in magnesium and potassium, naturally relax those blood vessels. That means lower blood pressure, better circulation, and less strain on your heart. Chicken can't do that. Now let's talk about joints. Muscle and joints work together. If your muscles are weak, your joints take the burden. That's why weak thighs lead to knee pain and weak hips lead to back problems. But when you build muscle, your joints get relief. It's like reinforcing the frame of a house. The walls no longer carry the weight alone. And here's where lentils have another hidden benefit. They are naturally anti-inflammatory. Remember, inflammation is like rust. It damages your joints, stiffens your muscles, and makes movement painful. But lentils are full of antioxidants and polyphenols that sweep away that rust. Studies show that diets rich in legumes lower markers of inflammation in the blood. That means less pain, more mobility, and a greater ability to move freely. And then there's metabolism. Muscle is your body's furnace. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, even while sitting. That's why strong people can eat more without gaining weight. But when you lose muscle, your furnace shrinks. Your body burns fewer calories. Weight creeps up, fat replaces muscle, and your health declines. Here's the good news. Even small increases in muscle mass can reignite that furnace. Lentils help by giving you not just protein, but a perfect balance of slow-digesting carbs and fiber. That combination feeds your muscles while keeping your metabolism steady. So now let's bring this to the table, literally. How do you actually eat lentils in a way that helps your muscles? The beauty of lentils is their versatility. You can make a simple lentil soup, flavored with onions, carrots, celery, and herbs. One bowl gives you 18 grams of protein, plus minerals and fiber. Or try a lentil salad. With chopped tomatoes, cucumber, parsley, and olive oil, it's refreshing, satisfying, and packed with muscle-supporting nutrients. You can even make lentil patties. Blend cooked lentils with garlic, spices, and a bit of whole grain flour, then pan-sear them. They make a delicious burger substitute without the heaviness of meat. Another easy option is a red lentil dal, a traditional Indian dish simmered with turmeric and cumin. Not only is it delicious, but the spices themselves are anti-inflammatory, giving your muscles even more protection. And here's the key, you don't have to eat lentils every single day. Even 2 to 3 times a week makes a difference. It's about consistency, not perfection. Over time, your body adapts, your muscles respond, and your strength begins to return. Let me share the story of Evelyn, 70 years old. She had early signs of arthritis and was struggling with stiffness in her knees. Walking to the mailbox left her sore, but she decided to try something different. Twice a week, she cooked a batch of lentil soup and had it for lunch. Within 2 months, Evelyn noticed that her knees hurt less. She could walk longer distances without pain. Her energy improved, and she told me something remarkable. "I feel like my body has hope again." That's the gift of the right food at the right time. It's not about fad diets or expensive supplements. It's about rediscovering the simple, nourishing foods that work with your body's biology to restore strength, reduce pain, and bring back vitality. So the next time you think about protecting your muscles after 60, I want you to remember this. Your muscles don't just need protein. They need a whole team of nutrients working together. Chicken can't give you that. Lentils can. Chapter 3. The Power of Food Combinations. Building muscle faster, smarter, and cheaper. By now you have seen how lentils stand out as a superfood for muscle after 60. But here is a truth I've learned after decades of research. Food is not just about single nutrients, it's about synergy. Just like a symphony needs many instruments working together to create music, your body needs the right foods paired together to create strength, energy, and resilience. When you eat lentils alone, you already get protein, fiber, and minerals. But when you combine them with other affordable everyday foods, you unlock something even more powerful. You transform your meal into a complete muscle-rebuilding medicine. Let's start with whole grains. Brown rice, barley, or oats. Why? Because lentils, like many plant proteins, don't have the perfect balance of amino acids on their own. They're rich in lysine, but low in methionine. Grains, on the other hand, are low in lysine, but rich in methionine. When you eat them together, you get a complete protein, every essential amino acid your muscles need to grow and repair. This is why cultures around the world naturally paired lentils with grains for thousands of years. In India, lentils are paired with rice. In the Middle East, lentils are cooked with bulgur to make mujadara. In Latin America, beans are paired with corn tortillas. These traditions weren't just about taste. They were about survival, health, and strength. Science has only recently caught up to what ancient wisdom already knew. Now imagine you're over 60, sitting down to a bowl of warm lentil stew with a side of brown rice. Your muscles are being fed with complete protein. Your blood sugar is kept stable. Your energy lasts for hours. You're not just eating, you're fueling the very tissue that keeps you strong and independent. Next, let's add leafy greens. Spinach, kale, collard greens. These are packed with nitrates, which your body turns into nitric oxide. That's the molecule that relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. Better blood flow means your muscles get more oxygen, more nutrients, and recover faster. Studies show that seniors who eat nitrate-rich greens can walk longer and have stronger leg muscles. Combine greens with lentils, and you've got protein plus circulation support. A perfect recipe for strength. Then there's tomatoes and bell peppers. Why? They're full of vitamin C, and vitamin C is not just about immunity, it's the key to making collagen, the protein that supports your tendons, ligaments, and joints. Without strong tendons and ligaments, your muscles can't do their job. Add a squeeze of lemon or a handful of peppers to your lentil dish, and suddenly your meal is also protecting your connective tissue. Now, let's bring in nuts and seeds. Just a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, or almonds on your lentil salad can make a world of difference. They bring in healthy fats, zinc, and vitamin E, nutrients that reduce inflammation and help your body use protein more efficiently. They also add crunch, flavor, and satisfaction, making your meal something you look forward to, not just a health duty. And let's not forget olive oil. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil over lentils adds polyphenols that fight inflammation, keep your arteries flexible, and help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins. The Mediterranean diet, famous for longevity, uses olive oil not just as cooking fat, but as a medicine. When paired with lentils and vegetables, it transforms a humble meal into a powerhouse of healing. The last combination I want to highlight is spices. Turmeric, cumin, garlic, and ginger. These aren't just for taste. Turmeric reduces inflammation in muscles and joints. Garlic improves circulation and blood vessel flexibility. Ginger supports digestion and reduces muscle soreness. These spices act like natural medicine cabinets hidden in your kitchen. Add them to your lentils and you're not only feeding your body, you're treating it. Now let's put it all together. Imagine this simple meal, a bowl of lentil and spinach stew simmered with garlic, turmeric and cumin, a side of brown rice, a salad of tomatoes, cucumbers and parsley with olive oil and lemon, and a small handful of pumpkin seeds sprinkled on top. That meal costs less than a few dollars. It takes less time to prepare than roasting a chicken, and yet it gives your muscles complete protein, steady energy, anti-inflammatory power, circulation support, tendon protection and metabolic stability. This is food as medicine in its most delicious form. And here is the best part. You don't need a special diet or expensive supplements. These are foods you can find in any grocery store, on any budget, anywhere in the world. They're the foods our grandparents and great-grandparents ate, foods that carried people through hard times, wars and famines. And they still work today, especially for seniors who want to rebuild muscle after 60. I think of James, a 72-year-old retired carpenter. He told me, "Doctor, I don't have the money for fancy powders or protein shakes, but I want to stay strong enough to keep building things in my workshop." I told him, "James, go back to basics. Lentils, rice, greens, tomatoes, olive oil." 2 months later, James said something I'll never forget. "I feel solid again, like my body is working with me, not against me." That's the transformation I want for every senior, not complicated diets, not expensive pills, just real food, working with your biology to restore your strength and independence. So when someone tells you chicken is the best way to build muscle, I want you to remember this. Chicken gives you protein, but lentils, paired with the right foods, give you something far greater. They give you a complete system of nourishment that supports not just your muscles but your blood vessels, joints, energy and longevity. And that is the kind of strength that lasts. Chapter 4. When Chicken Backfires. Why Plant Proteins Protect Seniors. Better for decades, chicken has been celebrated as the lean protein. Doctors, nutritionists and fitness trainers all said the same thing. Eat chicken to build muscle, keep your weight stable and stay healthy. And it's true, chicken has protein. But here is the other side of the story that most people don't adhere. After the age of 60, relying too heavily on chicken or any single animal protein can quietly stress your body in ways you might not notice until it is too late. Let's start with your kidneys. Protein is essential for muscle repair, but when you eat large amounts of animal protein, especially from meat, your body produces more waste products like urea and uric acid. Your kidneys are the organs that filter those out. At 25, your kidneys are strong, efficient and flexible, but by 60, kidney function naturally begins to decline, even in healthy people. Add in decades of high-protein, high-meat diets, and you create a silent burden that can accelerate kidney aging. And here is the irony. The very protein you are eating to protect your muscles can end up hurting the organ that manages it. Plant proteins, like lentils, don't put the same strain on your kidneys. They're packaged with fiber, antioxidants, and alkalizing minerals that balance the acid load in your body. In fact, research shows that seniors who replace even part of their animal protein with plant protein lower their risk of kidney disease, preserve kidney function, and still build muscle. It is like giving your body the protein it needs without punishing the organs that have to handle it. Now let's talk about bones. Chicken protein is rich in sulfur-containing amino acids, which, when broken down, can increase acidity in your body. Your body has to neutralize that acid, and one of the easiest ways it does that is by pulling calcium out of your bones. Over time, that can weaken your skeleton. In contrast, lentils and other plant proteins carry minerals like magnesium and potassium that buffer acidity. That means your bones are protected while your muscles are nourished. There's also the issue of inflammation. Many seniors struggle with sore joints, stiffness in the morning, or muscle aches after activity. Chicken itself isn't always the direct cause, but when eaten in large amounts, especially without balancing vegetables, it can tilt your body toward a more inflammatory state. This is partly because of compounds in animal fat and partly because of what modern farming adds to poultry feed. Lentils, on the other hand, come packed with polyphenols, plant chemicals that actively reduce inflammation. Instead of adding fuel to the fire, they cool the flames. And then there's circulation. As we age, our blood vessels stiffen. High blood pressure becomes common. Circulation to the legs, the brain, the heart, these are all areas where decline can set in. Animal proteins don't directly improve circulation, but lentils with their potassium and fiber lower blood pressure, relax arteries, and keep your blood flowing smoothly. That means when you eat lentils, you are not just feeding your muscles, you are also ensuring those muscles get the oxygen and nutrients they need. I want to be clear. I'm not saying chicken is bad. In moderation, it can be part of a healthy diet. But what I am saying is this: for seniors over 60, leaning too heavily on chicken while ignoring plant proteins is like building a house on one weak pillar. Yes, it may stand for a while, but eventually cracks appear. Here's the truth: the body you have at 60, 70, 80 is not the same as the body you had at 30. Your organs don't process food the same way. Your circulation isn't the same. Your inflammation risk isn't the same. That means your diet shouldn't be the same either. This is the mistake so many people make. They keep eating like they did decades ago, not realizing their body's needs have changed. And when you adapt, when you begin replacing chicken with lentils even a few times a week, something remarkable happens. Your digestion feels lighter, your blood sugar is steadier, your energy doesn't crash in the afternoon, your joints feel less stiff, and your muscle recovery improves because you're feeding your body in a way it can handle, not overloading it. I think of Maria, a 68-year-old retired teacher. She told me she was eating chicken almost every day, sometimes twice a day because she wanted to keep her muscles strong. But she felt tired. Her blood pressure was creeping up, and her joints were stiff. I suggested she replace just half of her chicken meals with lentil-based meals, soups, stews, even lentil salads. Within 6 weeks, she was glowing. Her blood pressure dropped, her energy was stable, and she could walk up the stairs without her knees complaining. She looked at me and said, "Doctor, I never realized food could change my body this quickly." That's the power of shifting from relying only on animal protein to embracing plant protein. It's not about giving something up. It's about giving your body what it truly needs at this stage of life. And this is why I tell my patients, chicken builds muscle, yes, but lentils and other plant proteins build muscle while protecting your kidneys, bones, circulation, and joints. That's the difference between short-term strength and long-term resilience. So let's step back for a moment. We began with a simple question: what if chicken isn't the best answer for rebuilding muscle after 60? What if there was a food, humble, affordable, and often overlooked, that could not only match chicken but in many ways surpass it? And we found that food, lentils. But this journey wasn't just about protein grams or nutrient charts. It was about something much deeper. It was about independence. It was about dignity. It was about the ability to wake up in the morning, stand tall, walk without fear of falling, and live life on your own terms. Because muscle is not just muscle, it's freedom. And freedom is worth protecting at every age. Here's the truth. You don't need expensive powders. You don't need complicated diets. You don't need to force yourself into eating foods that feel like a chore. What you need are the foods that have stood the test of time, foods that cultures across the world have cherished for centuries, foods that work in harmony with your body, not against it. Foods like lentils. Imagine a dinner plate tonight, a bowl of lentil stew, a side of rice, a fresh salad with olive oil and lemon. Simple, comforting, nourishing. That one meal is not just food, it's a message to your body. It says, I am giving you what you need to grow stronger. I am investing in my future. I am choosing resilience. And here's the most powerful part. It's never too late to start. Whether you're 60, 70, or 80, your muscles can still respond. Your circulation can still improve. Your joints can still find relief. Your body still wants to heal. It's waiting for you to give it the tools. So tomorrow, when you're in the grocery store and you see that bag of lentils sitting quietly on the shelf, don't pass it by. Pick it up, take it home, cook it, eat it. And feel the difference, not in months or years, but in days and weeks. Because every bite is a step towards strength. Every meal is an act of prevention. Every choice is a vote for your independence. You deserve a future where your legs are strong enough to carry you, your muscles steady enough to protect you, and your body resilient enough to let you live fully. And that future can begin with something as simple as the food on your plate. Forget chicken. You have something better, something more powerful, something that truly understands your body at this stage of life. And it's waiting for you right now. So let's build strength, let's protect independence, and let's write a new chapter of health, one meal at a time.